Hey guys, this is Victor Faria. Welcome to the first episode of Victory Talks. Today I got two great guests here. I got Jake Hernandez and I got Bryce Martin here to my right side. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing great. I mean, it's Florida, so every day is kind of like vacation. I'm not gonna lie, it's great.
Awesome. And how about yourself?
I'm alive, man. I'm alive.
Can't complain. Can't complain. And we actually just got back. We ate some nice Brazilian steakhouse right now. It was a pretty good time as well. And what'd you guys think about it? Kind of experiencing a little bit of my culture. What'd you guys think?
It was good. It was good. I almost wanted to knock out, but I didn't happen. It was good for me though. It was good.
I just woke up from a nap. Like food is really good when you have to go take a nap. So it was the best food I've ever had. I'm not gonna lie.
Fantastic. I had no time to breathe at all. No time to breathe at all.
They fed you off the
That-
bat, man.
that
They
pineapple-
knew Victor. They were like,
that cinnamon pineapple. I'm gonna make that when I get home. That's how good it was.
You are funny. You are funny. Well, just getting started here, guys. Right, I brought two of these guys on. They've been killing it in the insurance business. Right, Jake here is from Nebraska originally, right?
Colorado.
Oh, you're from Colorado. Okay, you're from Colorado, but you've been killing it in the insurance business. How long have you been doing this for, man?
This is gonna be like my 4th month, so I'm about halfway through. 4.5 months.
Okay, and you, Bryce, like I know you've been in the space a little bit longer, but you were also in the military, right? How long have you been in the insurance business for?
Probably since I want to say April and May of last year.
April, May of last year. So it's almost like a year.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. And then, kind of run down your guys' like routine, right? Like obviously you guys have been killing it in the business, right? I kind of want to know from your guys' standpoint, like what do you guys do on a daily basis, right? Could you guys like share with everyone like what does
You wanna
that
go?
look like?
I wanna go? You're
Hey, go ahead, go ahead.
I go. Jake and I, we wake up at 5 a.m. It's just a discipline thing, being able to wake up early, then just get the day started. You know,
Awesome.
I got this. So we wake up at 5. That saying that goes, early by rise.
Hey, early bird gets the worm. There
Well,
you
it goes like this: early by rise, in bed by 9, makes a young man healthy and wise.
There you
And
go.
we live by that. So like we wake up in the morning, we read, we do some affirmations, and then we usually head off to the gym right away. Once we get back from the gym, we make some breakfast, and we're at sales training by 8:01.
Awesome, awesome. And you guys have to share the same routines.
We're gonna keep this raw. So like whatever you see here, we're keeping it natural.
sorry.
Just keeping it pretty natural, pretty unedited for you guys. Just gonna be completely honest and transparent because we've actually been friends for quite a long time, right? But Bryce, kind of explain it from your standpoint, right? You've also been in the military, right? And you were doing sales while in the military, right? How important is it now? Because you are transitioning into full time now. How important is that for you in terms of like keeping that discipline, like keeping that mentality, that warrior mentality? How does that look like for you in sales?
You really do have to stay disciplined because like something like sales, it's not easy. A lot of people, I think the statistic was like 92% of people actually end up failing, and it's because they quit. That's what I believe. Like a lot of people just quit,
Yeah.
or they're just not disciplined enough. They're not persistent. And they don't really have like a good why. So being able to have like all 3 of those things, being disciplined, persistent, and having a why are like very very what's the word? It's very important to have that kind of mindset when you're doing something like this, as well as like being in the military. Like you're on a team. It's it's a team. You're a team player, And sales is the same because we all want to see the team win. So being able to be a team player and being able to provide value to those around you and be able to lift those up when they're down, it's really critical to bring that from my past experience to where I am now. If that makes sense.
Awesome. And guys, just so you guys know, like, right, Bryce is on my team, right? And Jake is also on my team. Like, we all do the same thing, right? But with Bryce, I remember when he was in the military, he would still hop on, the Zooms that we do, live dials through Zooms, because what we do is, well, we don't sell life insurance, right? We help families, right? We sell life insurance to protect families, make sure that they're protected to their best ability as well, right? Anything were to happen to them, their families are taken care of. But for you, Bryce, right, because I saw you were in the military,
Yeah.
but even after long, hard, strenuous days of work that you would do, you still would hop on Zoom and you would still make live dials with us, right? Kind of talk to us about that mindset and what really, propels you to keep on doing this. Like,
I don't know, just get after it, just make some extra money, and
Just
then
get
be able
after
to
it.
help families at the same time. It's really nothing more than that. I know I like before I was before I even got into sales and like the other stuff that I'm doing right now. I would get off work and I would play video games from like I don't know from 6 to 12 a.m. and that's just something I didn't really want to do. And I
Yeah,
got tired of it after a while. You know, I'll be on like social media, or whatever, and I'll start seeing people like living these lifestyles that I guess I always wanted to live, but I never really took action for it. So whenever like this opportunity was presented to me, I was like, I'd be a fool not to do it. So just
absolutely.
really like locking in, and cutting out all the distractions, cutting out the video games, everything else, and it's really zoning in on that. You have 24 hours in a day. I will spend maybe 6, maybe 12 at work, and then I'll just spend there. So my schedule was, wake up at 6 a.m. We'll do our, routine, we'll do a physical fitness in the morning, go to work, get off around 5, and I'll work from 5 to 9, just dialing. Maybe sometimes a little bit later, just because I know if I was consistent with it, I was
Dog.
constantly doing it, that, the results would eventually show.
Let's go.
So,
That's
I think that brings in a good point though. It's like he was trying to find a purpose. He was tired of playing video games. Like that's what a lot of this young generation is looking for, is something to find purpose in. But you, like he said it right there, you don't find it. You start to get it when you put in the work. Like you find it
Exactly.
in the process.
right, yeah.
And then he was also saying like when you look at it in a whole, you're helping families. It kind of has a justified feeling. Besides, a commission statement, you're looking at helping a family put them in a better spot on the worst day of that person's life,
Right.
and like that's the beauty of it
It's
in
really
life
important.
insurance.
I agree. I agree. And like we say sometimes, a lot of the youth, like especially all the kids, like people around our age, right? All they want to do is party, drink, go to clubs, get instant gratification, whether it be from social media, whether it be from validating their looks to other people, buying fancy things to impress themselves towards the right people, right? Obviously, we want to make sure that, like, obviously, we all can agree we want to be financially free,
Yeah.
right? We want to be financially free. Nice things are cool, right? But we have to get up every single day and we got to work. Like, we got to work.
The discipline's there if you want to be
So,
successful.
yeah, the discipline's there.
I think it's definitely an industry where like you're um, the work you put in is the results you're gonna get out of it, and just like having room for like slack, it's just not gonna cut it. You're not really gonna see the results that you want. You know what I mean?
It's an industry where you kind of jump off the cliff and you build your wings on the way down. And like they say, like you gotta find it and you gotta stick with it. My mentor shared with me, shout out Kate and Lanny. He's like, look, the grass ain't greener on the other side. It's green where you water it. So when you lock in a moment like that, that's when you're gonna start seeing compounded interest and actual success.
Awesome.
Right.
Awesome, guys. Great. And we did get some questions from you guys as well. We did do an overall poll on Instagram where you guys did ask a few questions, and we're going to go ahead and answer it for you guys. Right. With that being said, the first question here I got here from my boy Felipe. Right. Known him for quite a while. But just transitioning here, he's talking about like the crypto market and stuff like that. Bryce, I know you've been in day trading as well. We do sell insurance, right? But with Bryce as well, me and him, we do day trading. So this question kind of goes more for Bryce, right? Just the crypto market, it's being a little bit weird right now, right? And it was supposed to hit all timers this year. Is that still happening? Like,
I'm not gonna lie. I don't do crypto. I'm not gonna tell
Okay.
you. I don't know, but I have no clue. I know a little bit about crypto, but if you're asking me like if I can't tell you. I don't have an answer.
Okay,
Yeah.
all good, all good. And then second question here from my guy Jack. Shout out Jack. But he did tell me, yo Vic, how important is networking and building relationships in entrepreneurships? So, right, what I want to go ahead and say, right, because he did ask me that question, but I'm gonna go ahead, it is a round table, so I'm gonna ask all of you guys, right? How important is it for you, Jake, right? Networking and building relationships in entrepreneurship. Like how does that help you grow?
Oh, that's everything. Your network is your net worth. So the more people you know, the faster you're gonna be able to get things done, especially with the right team, because you want to do it right. Obviously, that's one thing I love about this industry is we're really big on culture. So somebody's already made the mistake that you could potentially make, and our mentors are so involved in our success that they're gonna teach you how to avoid that, and then get in contact with someone who's gonna be able to get us through it like smoothly the first time and not have to redo it. So like your relationships are, you never want to burn a bridge if you ask me, because down the road, that bridge might be the key you need to like a successful future.
Yeah, and like these guys, right? Just for my question, just for me answering that question as well, right? If you surround yourself, right, networking, put yourselves around individuals that want to grow, right? Put yourselves around people, right, that they want to go forward, they want to move in life, they have clear objectives, they know their why, they want to move forward with their life. Those are people that I want to be around because
Right.
if I'm not around those people, I'm just going to be completely honest, I'm not going to grow.
No,
I don't know about y'all, but I mean, right?
if you're with five, broke people, you're gonna be the sixth. If you're with five millionaires, eventually you'll be the sixth.
You'll be the sixth, exactly. And Bryce, just like kind of touching on that as well, right? Like, what do you think about like the whole networking side?
Repeat the question for me.
Like, in terms of like how important is it in networking, in building relationships in entrepreneurship and networking with that as well?
I mean, it's very important because like if you like you said, you're the sum of the five people you're surrounding yourself with. So if you're surrounded with people who are constantly drinking, they're constantly smoking, constantly doing all these things that you don't want beneficial for you, you're gonna end up falling in the trap with them as well. So being able to be around the people that are gonna push you, they're gonna help you achieve your goals. This is paramount to anybody's success, in my opinion.
Awesome, awesome. And then other question here that I did get. This is from our good man Darian, who's in the insurance business with us under Wes. You guys know who that is. Right?
Dog, he's a dog. Shout out him.
Shout
Love
out
that
Darian.
guy.
Shout out Darian, bro.
He's a dog.
Love you, brother. But he did want to kind of get into trading, Bryce. So I do want to ask you as well. Any good podcasts or YouTube channels for trading, and how could someone start trading? Like, what could they do from scratch?
This is Darian.
Darian.
Darian. I'll tell you my story. I've been trading for almost over a year now. I'm still not profitable. Okay, I'm still doing it, and I'm still learning the ropes of it. It's not an easy industry to get into. And if you're looking to get a lot of money really fast, that's not the route to go. Okay, it's something that's gonna be long-term sustainable for you. It takes a lot of hours to put into it. It takes a lot of your time. That's really all it is. I mean, if you want somebody to learn trading from that's actually profitable, shout out my guy Emilio Gallardo. Probably post his link in the.
Shout out Emilio, man. Both of our guys' mentors, absolute G, doing crazy numbers day trading. He's been doing it for the past couple of years. But even from my standpoint, because I trade as well, right? How that looks like for me, right, is I've been trading too for the last like couple of years. I mean, me and you, we were in the same mentorship, right, with Emilio.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And I've been trading, and now recently I've been seeing success. But it goes back to what we talked about in the beginning of the podcast. It goes back to we have to be there every day, right? We didn't give up. And now I'm starting to actually see some significant growth in my trading just from me developing not my own strategy, but taking what Emilio implements and me doing my own thing. So I'm not saying I'm profitable, but I lost a lot of money trading. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going to be the guy that's going to lie to you guys.
I actually got to meet Emilio yesterday for lunch. And he will tell you the same thing. Like, it is a longevity game. Same with life insurance. But he was telling, like, he's blown up 80 accounts.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you're going to have your low point. And then the good thing about that is when you hit adversity, the only way is up. So it's like it's a chart like everything else in life. You hit a low point, you just can go up. Mm-hmm. So, I mean.
Definitely a longevity game. But I think one thing we can agree, he never gave up. He was there every day. Every single day.
I'll show up to the charts, and I'll take a loss, and I'll show up the next day, repeat my same process, and then it's really just about being consistent, you know.
I'm not even trying to out you, but didn't you you got like a bonus from the military? I did. Can you share that story, please, for them? Because I loved this story so much.
I mean, it's not that funny, okay? Losing money is not funny to anybody, okay? But I mean, sign up for the military, or I got enlisted, $10,000 bonus, 25% tax of that. I got $7,500 of it. 1,000 of that I spent to get to where I am today. It's a long story for another time, but the other $6,500, the remaining that I had, I put towards prop firms for Forex. Okay, Forex, if you guys don't know what it is, it's you're trading the dollars, the euro dollar, the yen, all that crazy stuff. I lost all $6,500 with the prop firms. They got rug pulled because it was not regulated. So I don't recommend doing that. All right?
Bye pips, right?
Yeah.
Bye pips.
The whole bone is gone.
Awesome. Well, I got a few questions here as well. Now, this is a unanimous question for the pod as well on Instagram, right? Can I have a job with sales part time, right? And can I make money working part time? We did kind of discuss that already, right? Obviously, Bryce was kind of killing it, doing sales part time. Like I said, he would show up every single day. I saw it. I was there, right? So it's just a testament. Yes, you can. It just depends. What are you doing in your off hours, right? You're working your job, sure, right? But what are you doing those 6-7 hours that you have free in the day?
Me personally, like me, oh, sorry.
That makes sense.
Like me personally, I was doing since I was in the military. Like I said, work from 6 to 5 p.m. I'll get off and I'd work from 5. Like I said, 5 to 9. That's about 4 hours, 4 maybe 5, sometimes 6. But like I was doing it consistently. My biggest month part time that I had was, I think I did 8,000, and out of that I think it was like 6,000 in commission. So on top of my base salary with the military, I almost hit $10,000 in my bank account that month. So 6 plus 2, 2,000, $8,000 in my account. It's not a substantial amount of money, by any means, but it's enough to like make you realize like, hey, like wow, like part time, that's like really good money. I'm able to buy some nicer things, and then just throw it back into what you're doing, and then being able to scale it on a bigger level.
And then he brought up scaling. I also think if you want to do this part time, and this is my personal opinion, um, a man of many crafts is a master of none. So if you want to get in this business, you want to scale it, and you want to see real profit, like we said, 10,000. When you get into a game like this, it's not a lot to play with. Like that ends up being your bills for the month. So when you look at it, it's like you kind of go. It's not 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I would suggest if you want to see actual profit, you got to put both feet in and go 100%.
Yeah, and guys, like I'm still learning. Like I'm not perfect. Sales is still a journey for me. I'm not doing 50K a month yet, but I will be, and it's just because I know how to be consistent. I know how to be persistent, and I know how to be disciplined, and that's just gonna pay off in the long run too. So,
Okay, awesome. And then great answers, guys. Right now, this next question, right? This is from my friend JV. Right, awesome dude. Appreciate you for the question, bro. And popping in with this question: gross yearly income potential that you can have in this business, right? And then the gross yearly made so far, or what that's looking like, or how long you guys have been in here for, right? So what does that look like? I'll go ahead and I'll start off with Jake, right? What would you say, like I said, is the gross yearly income potential for anyone that's starting in the business? What is the ceiling? And then how much have you done so far?
Okay, that all is reliant on, how coachable are you? How disciplined are you? And part of being coachable is like, can you implement? If you sell, hire, and develop and market right off the bat, do everything you're told, you have the potential to make more than a doctor your first year in. You really do. My mentor made it possible for himself. Like you can do that. But it's like what Bryce said in the beginning of the podcast. What you put in this business is what you get out. So if you're looking for that, like, yeah, you can make well over 450,000. You can reach Hall of Fame your first year. People do it. That's what it looks like in this business. You really can, with 0 to none sales experience, as long as you do the right things, you can.
I mean, there's really no like, I wouldn't say there's a ceiling. You can do ridiculous amounts of money, and like I said, it's just about how much work you put in. It's really an uncapped income kind of business.
Sell, hire, market, develop. Those 4 things, you'll see success.
Yeah, awesome. And then just going back to that, like so far, how much would you say, like estimated, right? Obviously, we don't know what it looks like in terms of if we were to, go in our bank statements or everything like that. But how much would you say that you've deposited roughly into your account since you've started sales?
So with life insurance, it's pretty interesting because you have your submit, you have your IP, and then what your commission is based off. So what is like if you're at 70, 80, 90, goes all the way up to 125, all the way up to 140 if you have a team. Obviously I started off my first month, I submitted around 30,000.
$30,000, guys, and you're 21.
I was 20.
He was 20. He was 20. 30,000. Just so you guys can have some perspective. And that was, you said it, your first month.
That was what I submitted. And then at AP 22, and roughly made around 18
Yeah. So
in my bank account.
guys, just so you guys have some kind of perspective, right? That's first month. He deposited 18,000 into his bank account, right? First month, and you've been in the insurance business obviously for 4 to 5 months now. So just for you, right? Like how do you even have the obviously you have the mentality because you did first month 22,000, right? How does that push you to keep on going even higher every single month?
It's an addiction. I feel like anybody who wants success starts to learn to ride off of it. But one thing I did learn is don't rise your highs too high and your lows too low, because my second month wasn't nearly close to that. Um, I rode my high, got hit on some crazy rebuttals. One of my clients, her husband walked in, about to close a deal, $2,000 to my name, and her husband walked in. He's like, "I shot myself in the foot." Like this industry is so crazy. The places it can bring you, and I've been to 6 different states in the last 4 months. God bless, like all thanks to God. Um, but that just brings it back. Don't ride your highs too high and your lows too low. That second month, my lowest month, and then the beginning of April, AP $9,000 the first week. So 7 days, $9,000 AP. So that's not even submitted. That's AP.
Guys, 21 years old, right? You can see a lot of people 25 to 30 years old wake up every single day, scroll TikTok, scroll Instagram, right? We want to make sure that we're putting ourselves in better positions, right? What is life going to look like if 7 years down the road, we wake up and we have nothing fulfilled? When in 5 years, like a mere 5 years, we could be living our dream lives and reaping the fruits of everything that we sowed. So I just think to myself, like, what do you guys, right? And this ties into our next question, right? From Gabe over here, one of my close friends over in Boston. Awesome dude. It actually was his birthday a couple of days back. So happy birthday, brother.
Happy birthday.
But he did ask, why this career path and not something else, right? What's so important, Bryce? I'll start off with you. What's so important about this career path in specific instead of going with something else?
I mean, I'll tell you what I love about it personally. I guess being able to I guess the biggest thing for me is the freedom that you have with it, but you can also be like a double-edged sword because you're working on like a 1099, you're not working on W-2, so you're able to create your own hours, and also like we've already like said, like what you put in is what you get out. So if you take advantage of being able to create your own hours and work 3 days a week, of course you're not going to make that big of an income, but I love the grind of it. Just being able to make money like almost like whenever I want to. It could be a Saturday, and if I really want to, I can probably make a couple thousand. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Just depending on the kind of day, So
Yeah,
I love the flexibility of it, being able to
absolutely.
like I said, just create my own hours and the freedom I have. I know the past 2 days, like we were able to dial from like the rooftop.
Exactly. You could dial from wherever you want, right? You could dial from I could dial from this table right here. I could also dial in my room. I could dial in the office. Right? If you have some kind of internet, right? All you got to do is just call and you can make money. You can work Saturdays. You can work Sundays. I know there are people in this insurance industry that they work every single day.
Probably working right now.
Outworking us right now as well.
Yeah.
But we're out here wanting to make sure that we can kind of educate you guys on what this would look like for not only you but some of your friends, right? Some of the people that you know, right? You can change your life with this, right? You can change your life. You could also change your clients' lives, right?
And you know what? Like, I promise you, I didn't wake up and was like, when I was younger, I was like, I'm gonna sell life insurance. That's not what came to me right off the bat. But when I walked into that office for the first time, I saw how scalable it was and the ROI right off the bat. Like the startup fee to get an insurance is like less than $200, and then your ROI can be 18 grand your first month. It's insane, and I saw it as an opportunity to create capital for a business I want to fund. That is my dream one day in the future. That's why I chose life insurance.
And before you cut me off, you know.
Oh, my bad, my bad, man, my bad.
But like just being able to, because you can come into this, you can also, if you want to sell insurance, you're going to sell life insurance.
Yep.
Right? So if you want to build a business, you can build a business. That's my goal. Because when I came in here and I saw people building a business and passively every single month making $200, $400, $600,000, even more a month, which is like just mind-boggling amounts. Like it's a ridiculous amount of money.
It's insane.
You know what I mean? So just being able to have the choice to do one of the two, it's you can really just do whatever you want with it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And that ties in as well, right? Because with high producers, right, obviously there is a certain level of mindset that they have to adopt to be hitting these high numbers. I think we can both agree on that as well. And that ties in to our next question here. We got from Shondo, right? Awesome dude. What kind of mindset do you have to have when getting into business, right? He's killing it too. He's in the insurance industry, and shout out Shondo. I see you, practically every day closing, man. So shout out to you, man. But Jake, I kind of want to ask you first, right? What kind of mindset do you have to be in when you're getting into business?
Shondo would be the perfect example. You know what I mean? Like, when it comes to it, I see a Baba verse every morning, 4:30 in the morning, posted from Shondo. And that ties in to exactly what the mindset you need. You need to be hungrier than everybody else. You need to have good discipline. And then, honestly, like, amazing habits. The habit, what you implement into your day, what is a habit? Something you do every day consistently. Cut out the negative ones, and you add in the good ones. Reading, eating good, going to the gym, and then dialing when you don't want to dial, because it comes to a point one day where you can dial and make $1,000 when you want, and you don't have to dial all day. But like off the bat, off rip, you need to be, business is war. You should be emotionless or emotionless. Emotionless.
Yeah,
That's the word. But then at the same time, have them in the right time, because you need to be personable to the client. 90% of this job is being a good listener. So tying all those things in together, mindset is everything. It's you versus you forever and always. You're your biggest critic. So if you're not putting yourself in a good position to where your mind's healthy, neither is your success or your future is going to be.
What I personally think is you just need to be obsessed. That's all it is. You can have very little talent, but if you're obsessed and you're outworking everybody else, then you're gonna see the results.
Awesome. Yeah, just to add that into, guys, right? Just to add it more into that, right? What are you doing outside of your job, right? So, for example, right, we could be selling, right? It comes into mindset. There have been days, and you guys can attest to this because you guys are in the insurance industry, right? There have been days where I have called for multiple hours because I like to work from like 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. I trade in the mornings, right? But there have been days where I call from 11 a.m. to 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then there's that little bit of doubt that starts creeping, like, man, like it's a bad day. And then you get on that phone call, you call someone and you close them, and you're like, wow, like see what that persistence was all about.
I'll tell you what, Jake and I the other night, it was I don't know what day it was. It was a couple nights ago.
It was Thursday.
It was Thursday. We were dialing all day, getting no pickups, getting banged on all day, and then we decided to dial together. I was like, we're not leaving until we close. And then a couple hours later, bam, he hit his deal, then I hit my deal, and then it was a $2,000 AP, and he did pretty bad deals.
And how much, Bryce, from that one deal, right? How much is that going into your bank account?
Out of the 2,000 submitted, it was probably like 680 or so.
680, guys, from one deal, right? That's from one deal. $700. I know people that make less than that in a week, right? Not bashing, right? Not bashing, but it just shows that there's a lot of opportunity. If you really want it, right? You can go and chase your dreams.
And I think the attractive thing out of all this, is we were stressing to close a deal. Because, the rule of thumb is we always try to get at least a deal a day. That's going to put $30K in your account at the end of the month. Mm-hmm. So when you look at it as a whole, we're 21 and 22 stressing about good things. We could be stressing about something way worse, but we decided to dial it together, and it paid off in the end. That ties back to culture. if you're around closers, you're gonna be a closer. It's inevitable. It really is. That energy, if frequency transfers over to the person next to you. Like we got on the deal at the same time. Like they picked up at the same time, and then we closed at different times. But that's how it works. Like we left that with a smile on our faces.
So it is, and the whole day, guys, not getting pickups. People telling us to, do a lot of stuff. Like people telling us to unalive ourselves, right?
You start to love that. Like the adversity in this business shows that you're about to get something big.
It really, really hardens you up too.
Yeah. So awesome, guys.
Hardens you up. What do you mean? What do you mean by that, Bryce?
All right. All right. So now let's see here. This is from Caden, and this is your boy Caden, right?
Yeah, Caden. Shout out. I went to high school with him, man.
Awesome. That's awesome. So this is for Caden, right? How has insurance shaped your long-term thinking, right? And I know a lot of these might sound a little bit repetitive, but if you could just kind of briefly go over that, right?
Honestly, I loved this question, Caden. Shout out to you. The way it shaped my long-term thinking was it's not a get-rich-quick scheme by any means. When you look at it, it's a 5-year plan that you trade 5 years of your youth for the next 40 years of financially freedom. If you look at it, 99% of people in the world are doing the exact opposite of that. And, being young, you want to be an entrepreneur. Obviously, you're looking for that ticket out. So, I will be in this industry, like head on, taking every challenge until I see that turnaround point. And, shout out to Jay Maska. He's all of our mentors.
All the mentors. Yeah.
He's
24?
24, yeah. And, he went through a bunch of adversity, but in short 4 years, his profit is incredible. And that's exactly what we're chasing. And he always preaches it is a longevity game. You're going to be in it and until you see the turnaround point. And then even then, Jay Maska still dials. Because you got to show it for the people who you're bringing into the business that this work is nonstop. And that's kind of the lifestyle you're going to have. So in the terms of further down the road, I won't quit. And that's the mindset you should have in this industry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I guess, my long-term vision, I guess my whole life, I really always wanted to do big things. When I was young, I wanted to be in the NFL, NBA, do big things in life, like F1 racer, crazy stuff.
I don't blame you.
And, I guess when this was, presented to me, I was like, okay, oh, yeah, I'll sell insurance. And then you start learning more about it, and you're like, oh, you can build a business out of this. And oh, okay, you can make a lot of money doing this. You know what I mean? So I guess being able to actually have that vision now, to be able to know what I want to do with this, how far I want to take it, it drives me every day. That's the reason I get out of bed, because I have that vision burned into my mind. I want to be able to change lives, take the ordinary person and then turn them into something extraordinary. I might be struggling right now.
Yeah.
But I know that in the long run, if I keep on doing what I'm doing and being consistent with it, that it's going to pay off, and it's inevitable.
What about you? Come on, lay it down on us. You have some sauce. I know you do.
No, man. I'm chilling, man. Honestly, first of all glory and honor to God, right? Without God, I don't think any of us would be in this room right now. And all these numbers, right? They're numbers at the end of the day, but all of the blessings, they come from God. I just want to start this first. But I actually came in the insurance industry myself about, I want to say it was around August, September. And honestly started through a rough patch, guys. It's not easy, right? I think in the beginning, sometimes, our mindset wasn't the same. Like I was unemployed for 2 years, right? I started multiple businesses. They all failed. All of them failed. Until I got a call one day from this guy. And then we kind of, talked for a bit. I ended up hitting up one of his good friends, and I got into the insurance business, got licensed and contracted. And flash forward now, February, I was able to do $26,000 in written business.
Yeah, all right. Just to tap on this real quick, Victor works from home. That $26K working from home. But the first time I met Vic actually was in a lock-in because this job provides opportunities to travel. We got to stay in a
Dallas.
Yeah, we got to stay in a multi-million-dollar mansion. Caden Land planned it out for us. What did you do in 3 days? In 3 days, what did you do?
in 3 days, I think I was able to protect over 12 families. I believe it was 17,000 in submitted business across 3 days.
That was insane. I remember like you dialed in the kitchen with some dogs, Lux, and he didn't leave his seat. He didn't leave his seat, protecting families, bang after bang, and then like it was insane to watch, bro. That was inspiring, and I was like, yo, I need to get to know this guy. 12 families in 3 days. Like I don't know if you know it, but like how long you? That's a lot of families. You killed it. That was one of the craziest things I ever saw.
Thank God, man.
Thank God.
All I gotta say is
100%.
thank God, and shout out to those guys that were with me. Dialing in that room. Lux. I got Quentin that was in there as well. John Ferguson. Yo, huge shout out to John. Love you, dude. And these guys, it's why it's so great to be in this kind of business, right? And we can all agree to this, is being around like-minded individuals, right? If you're around those kind of people, you see their mindset, right? Like I was talking to Lux, right? A guy that's really close to us in the business as well. I got really frustrated because one sweet, he was a sweet old man. He just decided, he got really angry at me and he just decided to curse me out. It's all good.
Wait, was it Lux or a client?
No, it was a client. It was a client.
He'll be laughing at that one.
But he told me, he was like, "Hey Victor, instead of you getting frustrated, just go ahead and dial the next one. Like people have heartbeats. They need life insurance, right? Make them realize what they need. Go ahead, protect them and protect you as well. Pay your bills, and help them, put them in the correct position." And I thought to myself, I was like, wow. And Lux is a guy, 30, 40K months. I don't even, Lux, it would be an honor to get you on the pod one day as well. But absolutely great advice that I took, and it helped me in my business and me doing what I'm doing now. First of all, all honor and glory to God. That's what I want to say.
Every time.
And then just for you guys, just so we could go ahead and start kind of wrapping this up, right? I do want to ask you guys, what is your vision, right? The next year, 5 years, and 10 years, right? I'm going to start with you, Bryce, right? Where do you see yourself in the next year? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
By the end of sorry to cut you off.
Go ahead.
By the end of 2025, I know this is my first month doing full time, so it's been a big shift from, the military to here. I want to be doing at least for this first year, 30 to 50K per month.
Okay.
Once I'm at that point, then I'm going to feel comfortable enough to start bringing on new agents, teach them how to do what I'm doing, replicate that to them, and then teach them how to do it to the next people. Like I said, sell, hire, develop. At that point, the 5-year vision is going to be to build a multi-million-dollar agency, and then just scale from there. Really, there's going to be a lot of moving pieces, and I know I'm going to be able to figure it out along the way. It's simple as that,
Yeah, absolutely. And where do you see yourself in 10 years?
10 years? I don't, even if, I am making, a lot of money just passively and, protecting families along the way, I still don't see myself just not doing any kind of work, So that's 10 years, probably doing other ventures, probably like talking maybe real estate or just something along those lines. I don't really have 10 years to be honest, but 5 years is definitely something within the life.
And just before I go ahead and ask Jake as well, right? You see his shift in mindset, right? I guarantee you, like maybe 3 years back, he wouldn't have thought any of this was possible, right? No. We all wanted to make it out.
3 years ago.
Yeah,
but I kicked my own ass.
Exactly, and no worries, guys. Like that makes a lot of sense. Right? But it shows now he knows exactly where he wants to be in 10 years. His goal, he's locked in, right? Locked in.
And I don't know 10 years.
Yeah, but at least he has a goal. He has a concrete goal that he wants in his head, right? And for you, Jake, right? Because I see you guys dialing. I was with them actually last week in Tampa, right? We were actually all dialing from the office in Tampa as well, right? What about for you, Jake? What does your life look like in a year? Where do you want to see yourself in a year? And then, 5 years, 10 years. What does that look like for you, brother?
A lot. But before I even get into that, just tap off what he said. Like he said 3 years ago he wanted to beat that guy's ass, which was the old him. That's one thing I love about this insurance industry is when you look at it, it changes the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you hold yourself, and the decisions you make. So when you look at it as a whole, even if this is something that doesn't work out for you, getting into the insurance industry with the right people and the right mentorship is going to portray you down a life path that you probably wouldn't have even envisioned from the person you are now. And then, like, long term wise, this year, I would like to be a Hall of Fame producer.
Mm-hmm.
That is a goal, definitely.
And for those who don't know, that's over 400,000 in a produced business.
That would be no, that'd be awesome. That's obviously what I'm going to be shooting for. But God has a plan. Whichever way He wants to take me, I'm going to go with because it's the best one. And then, 5 years from now, I'm hoping to have a beautiful amount of passive income because I want to travel. I'll only be 26, still be able to do some fun things. And in 10 years, every person 10 years younger than me, I want to put them in the position that I was in, that I'm at the age right now, and show them exactly what I did and see if I can change the world in some way. And then definitely, like, in that 5-year goal, just to go back to that, retire my moms, retire my dads, my dad, and put them in a good spot because that's the ultimate goal. I think we all kind of align with that. If we can put, one thing I do love about it is, like, minus some money changes environments. If you're in an environment you don't like, it's going to be able to change that entire environment and put you somewhere that is better for you all around. And like that's the sexy part of the business for me. It really is.
It is. Well, awesome.
What about you, Vic? Come on, man. I love it. So you got to tell me that.
Well, I mean, I guess since it is the first episode, I'll give some insight right about myself. I want to let these guys talk more about their experiences, right? But I think, I guess, in a year or 5 or even 10, I think what that would look like is maybe in a year, be constantly producing like 50,000. I want to say 50 to 75,000 every single month, realistically, and then have a full team. A team of at least 10, really good individuals that are like-minded like us, right? That want to work and, get up off the ground and, get the ball rolling, man. So that's what I want to be in 1 year. I think in 5 years, man, God willing, I want to be on an island somewhere, man, just chilling. Nah.
100%.
10 years.
10 years. That's 10 years. That's 10 years.
I didn't have one before now. I live with Vic with the margarita in my hand.
10 years. 10 years. All of us with the margarita at a beach somewhere in like Mexico or wherever y'all want to go, Madagascar.
And then we take jet skis to a super yacht. That's what I want. I'm not going to lie. Like, my 10-year actual plan, like, for me, if I was being selfish, would be I want a yacht. 100%. I want a yacht with my boys on it.
I just want the 3 minutes.
Well, there we go, guys.
Awesome. Hey, Vic, thank you for having us, brother. For real.
Absolutely.
You're awesome. Vic put this all together.
Yes, sir.
If you are looking to get in the insurance industry, hit up my boy Vic. He's gonna be going far. So, I mean, hop on a train where you can now because, like, that thing's not stopping. For real.
You got anything to say, Bryce?
He's hungry.
You'll see me very, very far in the next year or two, so just stay tuned.
Awesome. And I want to thank both of these guys for making the drive here from Tampa. I took them to a nice little Brazilian restaurant today. I know you guys enjoyed that. I know that was we ate a lot. Right, we're feeling good.
Give me diabetes.
We're feeling good, guys. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. This is the very first episode of Victory Talks. Any questions, any ideas that you guys have, go ahead, drop it in the comments as well. We'll be going ahead and posting that for the next podcast.